1847, Missouri prohibited teaching blacks to read or to write. Yes, this is history, but I'm here to tell you that this history has a legacy, and this legacy has legs, and those legs walk into your school, and they predict your practices and your policies and your beliefs around building literacy for children of color. Our founding fathers held and perpetuated the belief that the Africans were an inferior race, and they perpetuated that belief that their intelligence would never be equated to whites, particularly the whites that held them captive. But you know what? In every concrete, there's a rose. And in my research, I discovered that in the 1700s and 1800s, most, if not all, the Africans that were enslaved, those that were allowed to learn to read and write, they used a method that required the learner to spend long hours memorizing the alphabet, and then columns of vowels and consonants and double letters and two syllables called easy syllables. And they practiced those sounds, bay, bee, bye, bo, boo, up to 6-syllable words. And they kept saying them aloud, forwards and backwards and back again. And after memorizing those letters and sounds and symbols, the learner connected it to a text. But then there were other Africans that were enslaved, that lived in states that had anti-literacy laws, that granted them permission to rotely memorize biblical passages through oral repetition, never giving them an opportunity to actually hold the text in their hand and to track the words they were reading. Does this sound familiar? And I'm going to step on some toes here, but I'm going to reveal to you my truth. In this walk in education, I have moved in and out of schoolhouses where we have debated. Do we teach phonics, or do we hold them in shared reading and get them to memorize passages? And memorizing the passages will teach them the words, and teaching them the words will tell them the story. Even though research says that in order to be a fluent reader, you have to know the code. And so I ask you, why do you withhold the code from some children? Why are you sitting in schoolhouses that are still grappling with whether or not you should teach the code? Maybe it's because you're swimming in the anti-literacy laws. And so I ask you, why do we debate and make decisions about children's lives and decide whether or not they come out as readers to make ourselves feel good? Because my historic hero, Frederick Douglass, taught me that once you learn to read, you will forever be free. I hear Frederick Douglass crying out to me that the freedom lies in their literacy. And yet, we want to say that that is old news. Oh, it is. In Gary B. versus Snyder, that happened this year, the class action suit filed against the state of Michigan using the 14th Amendment. They stated that students who attend 5 of Detroit's lowest performing schools are receiving an education so inferior and so underfunded that it is if as that they are not attending school at all. And let me remind you what that 14th Amendment tells us. Nor shall any state deprive any person of life or liberty. Well, if freedom lies in literacy, and students are walking into buildings that are not giving them the opportunity to become fluent readers, where is their liberty?